RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, October 3rd. I hope everybody has set themselves up for success today for this beautiful Thursday. Okay, it's not beautiful. It's dark and gloomy and cold and miserable here again. But I'm happy because I started digging out my fall clothes. So I have a sweatshirt and I'm at least warm. And I have blue jeans on today. Like, seriously, I'm not thrilled with the change in weather. I like warm weather. So hopefully you all have better weather than I do because I'm sick of dark and gloomy. It was dark and gloomy all day yesterday. I know Gina has warm weather and she sucks.
Well, we're sick of it. So you can have it if you want it.
Please send it my way. Please, please, please send it my way.
Yeah, it's going to be 98 today. That's absurd. That's actually absurd. That's hotter than it should be here. Usually by now we're in the 80s. But next week, supposedly, it's supposed to start dipping. We shall see. That remains to be seen. The South is the most it needs Prozac when it comes to weather.
New York it was Tuesday. It was 88. And then by 6 o'clock at night, it was 60.
Oh, wow.
We dropped fast and windy, nasty, rainy, horrible, ick. So today we're still talking about scaling your business, and we're going to talk about how Be Boss Girl has scaled. And this part of this actually happened before Gina was even part of last year. Part of this happened last year. We kind of split things off and moved things around with DG marketing and all of that. But the scaling actually started over a year ago. And when you're scaling a business, and let me tell you, I needed Gina to scale the business. So, it started before Gina. Gina is the reason it happened because I needed an OBM. And I needed an OBM that understood that scaling wasn't raising my prices. And I actually had a very, very difficult time finding somebody who understood that. I know one of Gina's and my first conversations when we were talking about, I'm like, I need so much help. I can't find anybody that can actually help that understands what it's like to run a real corporate style business. And I know that's something that Gina and I very much had in common, was trying to find somebody that understood how actual business scales and how actual business moves ahead and grows properly so that it's sustainable. And let me tell you, unlike most businesses that close in the first 3 years, I'm going on year number 3. I'm heading into year number 3. I'm still alive and kicking. Doesn't mean it's all roses, because let me tell you, it's not. It's a huge pile of crap most of the time when you're a business owner. That's part of being a business owner. And if you talk to C-levels who have built a business from nothing, they will tell you the first 10 years, there's almost as much, probably more so, crap than there is the pretty yellow brick road that you get to skip along. That's not what happens when you're scaling and growing a real business, because there's lots of ebb and flow, especially in the small business world. There's lots of ebb and flow. So scaling your business is not for the faint of heart. There's so many freelancers that we talk to and we see threads for on Facebook that I want to scale my business. I want to grow. I want to have an agency and all of that. And they don't understand that means the first thing that's going to happen is cut your income by 50% immediately. In order to make it happen, you got to pay other people to do what you were doing. So at least 50% immediately. For a while there, I was down to 25% of what I was earning. in doing that. You can't just go from freelancer or contractor, which they're really that's the same thing. Freelancer and contractor, they're the same thing. You can't go from that status to owning an agency without investing back into the business and investing a good portion of what you're bringing in back into the business. That's going to happen. And you have to do that in order to scale properly. You have to hire. If you're not somebody who's great at bookkeeping and your taxes and all that, you've got to hire somebody. We hired Nikandra Moran. Nikandra is amazing. She works with women businesses, women small businesses, and creative business owners. And she really understands where we're coming from and how to grow. She is an EA, not a CPA. So best way to explain it, she is a CPA on steroids. She's amazing. I can't speak highly enough of Nikandra. I've worked with Nikandra now for 3 years. Gina has worked with her for just over a year. We both love her. Everybody that's ever worked with her, I've never known anybody that doesn't like working with her. So that's step number one. So you got to hire that, because there is a big difference of running as a freelancer, invoicing clients and keeping track of stuff, to jumping to owning an agency or growing a small business. Going from freelancer or contractor status to owning a full-on business with employees or contractors or vendors or however you're going to work it. You do need somebody at least to come in and consult with you to get all of that set up. The next thing is a business manager. Let me tell you, if you skip this step, and I have before in previous businesses, the difference in hiring a business manager is step number 2 is hallelujah huge. Let me tell you, an OBM, and I would definitely go with a certified OBM, so you have somebody that understands and has a code of ethics. That's my biggest thing with that, and that certification is there's a certain level of integrity that a person needs to have. Because Gina, do you remember what I said, how many people I had talked to when you and I first connected? I want to say I talked to like 10 or 20 people trying to find somebody to help. And I couldn't find somebody that even understood what working in the corporate world was.
Yeah. It was like 10, 20 something.
I mean, that was a conversation over a year ago, so I can't remember. and having somebody like Gina on my side to handle processes and procedures. Because while I understand how to build that, taking that and turning that into something for building a team is different than the processes and procedures you build for yourself as a single business owner. It's a very different process. It's a very different, everything about it is different format, different process, and you need so much more detail. And then you have to be able to recreate that over and over and over again, depending on who you're hiring and what type of positions you need. And understanding that you also need somebody to manage your customer service stuff, because once you go from 5 clients, because most of freelancers can handle about 3 to 5 clients at a time, depending on what you're doing, from 5 clients to 50 clients, that's a huge difference in project management, task management, processes, procedures, customer service, email, handling email and messages, Facebook messages and email messages and Facebook business page messages and Instagram messages. Just all of that drives me absolutely insane. And without somebody like Gina on my side, I would have completely lost it by now. No, long before now, I would have completely lost it. Because you can't, one person cannot do it all. And if you are a business owner and are trying to scale your business, and you understand that scaling doesn't mean just raising prices, but you're trying to scale your business and DIY it all yourself, you're going to fail. I have been there, done that. I've been doing this for 25 years. I have been there, done that. I tried to DIY a business at one point and scale, and it did not go well. I went $30,000 in debt trying to make it happen. That was 19 years ago. Because I didn't do it properly. I didn't hire a CPA. I didn't hire somebody to help me with business management. I lost customers. Everything was a disaster. Just everything was a disaster. I'm ADHD. Remember that. So I need somebody to organize the back end, because I can't do that. Ask Gina, I'm god awful terrible at it. Don't ask me to organize anything. I can train people how to be organized. I'm actually very, very good at showing people how to be organized. I can't do it myself. Cannot do it for myself, for nobody else. I do it for clients all the time. I have an IT client that he went on vacation, left everything to me. And by the time he got back, his office is so organized and runs like a well-oiled machine now. Cannot do that for myself. Cannot at all in any way, shape, or form. I think Gina was laughing hysterically at me when that IT client went away and I had to get him organized. I think she was surprised that I had any clue how to do it, because that's not me. So knowing how to scale and the steps to scale is huge. And going through all of that is also, like I said, not such a thing to hot people. It is difficult to scale, and there are months you don't get paid anything.
And you have to be okay with that, because there's a lot of drama that will come with it.
If you are married, believe me, there's drama that will come with absolutely no money coming in and you work 90 hours a week. Just saying. And Gina and I have both been there. Been there, done that. Fortunately, I have the t-shirt to go with it. But it happens when you are scaling. Things like that are going to happen. A tax bill is going to come in that you didn't expect, and all your money goes out the door in an instant. A vendor or a contractor forgot to invoice you for 3 months ago, and all of a sudden you get hit with it immediately. I mean,
a client decides that they just aren't going to pay, and that's money that you've been expecting, and now all of a sudden.
And even if you have a solid contract in place, you now have to go after said client for remaining money for whatever work is
going to force them to push the pay button. The only thing that it does is it supports you in a case to make them pay. But
that costs you money.
It does.
If you have to hire a collections agency or hire a lawyer, you got to pay for that. All of these things. So you need to, as you're building your business, you also have to build a cushion. And Gina and I have worked towards a 3-month cushion so that we have that 3 month. That doesn't always work. We've had downtimes, we've had up times, things get shifted around. But if you have a 3-month cushion of all of your expenses, including what you've got to pay for your contractors and all of that, that helps. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, because it's not. Because again, Gina and I have had months where we get zero because we have to pay everybody that works for us. And that comes first. And that's another big thing with scaling your business, is understanding when you're doing that, whether they're a contractor or a freelancer that you've hired, a vendor, whatever you've done, they come first, not you. You no longer are the top of the food chain when it comes to getting paid in your business. What you need to keep the lights on, your website, your email, if you use Zoom constantly, whatever that is, those things get paid first. Anybody who works for you or has done work on your behalf gets paid second. Your tax stuff gets paid third. And then if there's anything left, then you can get paid. So that's something that I really want to make sure everybody understands, that you think you're creating a life of freedom by scaling your business. At first, you are not creating a life of freedom. You're a prisoner to your own business.
It's scary and it's hard. Like when we decided, we made some serious changes in Be Boss Girl. And when we did that, we knew that there would be some lean months. But the lean month came a lot quicker because we had such a hard time and such a blow up with one vendor. And I know you guys remember that from over the summer. That is how much of an impact that people that I want you to understand that you can have on your client's business. So we were already struggling just in trying to recover from that. Then we had to make changes to scale, because there are things that we want to do that are long-term that would sustain us and give us more freedom, rather than being chained to our desks all the time or walking around with an iPad all the time just so you don't have to be at your desk, or but to make those changes, they aren't immediate. It does take time, and you have to stick with it. And that's what a lot of people forget when it comes to scaling. Once you make the decision and you start to scale, you have to stick with it, and you have to stay consistent with it, because It just takes time. It's a switch.
And it takes any switch that you make when you're scaling your business, you're looking at a minimum of 90 days for it to make a difference. A minimum, but you're more like 180 days. That's 6 months. Yeah, I just said 6 months for scaling your business to start really making a difference. I don't care if you have a great brand and are bringing in customers constantly and all of that. You're paying more for back end for probably your first year of business as you're scaling up back end administrative and all of that stuff than you are paying for like getting client work and getting paid for that type of work. That's just a reality of scaling and scaling well and scaling for the long-term sustainability of your business. And that's something that a lot of people don't even think about, is the long-term sustainability. They're thinking about that instant gratification, and they forget that the idea behind scaling is so that 10 years from now, you still exist, not so that next week you become an influencer on Instagram. That has nothing to do with scaling. Your social media presence has nothing to do with scaling at all. Let's just get that out there. When you are scaling a business, it's not because you want to become a Facebook influencer or an Instagram influencer or whatever. And if that's your reason for scaling, just don't bother scaling. Just still be you. Hire a freelancer to cover for you, whatever, or leave it at that. Just don't bother scaling. You're causing yourself and everybody else a whole lot of heartache by doing that. I have seen, and this breaks my heart, I saw 2 women in the last week on Facebook who, because they tried to do something like that, they were trying to be an Instagram influencer, their husbands left them because they put the family in so much debt from making bad business decisions. You have to make decisions for your business that aren't going to put your marriage, your family, or anything in jeopardy, period, ever, period, end of story. I don't want to discuss it. And I've seen more than one woman who, I left my husband because he didn't understand what I wanted to do in my business, and I want to invest everything right now. Let me tell you, ladies, as a woman, we all are more emotional than a guy is, period. There isn't one of us that isn't. It's a reality. It is a biological and physiological thing. And sometimes a husband, and I'm not going to say this is always true because husbands can be a huge pain in the butt. Mine has his days. Believe me, I adore my husband. There are days I want to kill him. Yesterday was one of them. But your husband has if you have a good relationship and you have discussed everything and you discuss every step of your business. If you are running your own business, that is affecting your family. Every decision should be discussed with your husband. I'm sorry. The women who think that they should run is their own business and their husband has nothing to do with it, that's BS. And another reason and a red flag to me of why I would not hire that person.
Yeah, I talked to mine.
Mine doesn't always give his opinion.
Mine doesn't understand the industry. He still doesn't understand what we do. He doesn't understand. He just knows that I'm trying to build a business and that I get a paycheck every month, and that's kind of all he cares about. And but I still keep him in the loop. I let him know what's going on. I let him know when we've made a decision. I talk about it, and I didn't for my first year. And
that didn't go well, did it?
Well, it's not that it didn't go well. It's that, now because I spent a decent amount of money trying to get myself some help and to learn and all of that stuff, that there is debt. And, that I've tried to keep it separate. And so far I have succeeded, but I don't know how long I can keep that up. And that's going to affect him. He knows that it's there, but because he's never seen the transaction come out of the checking account to pay for it, it kind of doesn't bother him.
So I very much discuss everything with my husband. If it's over $50, I don't spend it in my business, personally, anything, without discussing something with my husband. And we have that agreement with each other So I will tell you, my husband fails miserably and will come home with $5,000 worth of PA equipment. I open my garage door and it's there. But I have done things like that too. Purple guitar. But we discuss everything because it's going to affect him. If I don't bring the same amount of pay home that month, or I'm going to hire somebody that is going to cause me, when you hire somebody, it causes you more work for the first few weeks than help. That's just the reality of hiring people when you're a small business, period. And if I'm going to hire somebody, I discuss it with them. So I make sure that it fits into our schedule, because I'm going to have to work at night and a lot earlier in the day and all day long and not take breaks and not get time with him as much when something like that happens. And those are decisions that I discuss with him. And you want to know what? It makes even the hard decisions of, oh, crap, I made a mistake on this, or this happened, or whatever. It makes those discussions go a whole lot easier because he already knows what's going on.
Yeah, like I tell my husband, like I said, I tell my husband everything, but he doesn't understand what we're doing. So there's only so far the conversation can go.
My husband doesn't want to understand what we're doing, and it annoys him.
Mine doesn't either. He doesn't care. He just wants to. My husband just wants to see me relaxed and happy, and whatever that takes. But also, we're Southern, so there are some preferences that he would have for our family dynamic that are never going to happen. But so there's some of that also as well. As long as I don't have to go back to an office, I honestly don't think that he cares. As long as I'm home and with our new baby that's coming, and like taking care of our house, and I'm happy and safe, he's fine with it.
And honestly, my husband is 99.9% of the time too. But it's still because he knows everything.
Yeah, because they know what's going on, and I've explained it to him. And as long as he doesn't see me working long hours and locked into my office, like I'm very productive. So a lot of times, or back when I was on my game and not pregnant, I could do more in one day than most people do in a day and a half.
Some people are like that. I'm too ADHD to complete anything.
Not happening right now at all. But essentially where we were and some of the changes that we had to make is you have to step back and look at your business model. And our business model was not sustainable because the way that we were set up, we could not consistently do business development. And business development is what keeps, like, sales are what are going to keep your business moving. It's going to keep your business moving. And I sat down and did an analysis, and based on the business model that we had for up until August of this year, we had done 90 days of business development. So that was 1 month a quarter almost. Yeah, 1 month a quarter. We did business development, and the rest of it was delivery. Never going to grow that way. Ever. You
just can't sustain that. So everything about scaling is about the long-term goals and what's the long-term goals for your business. So that's everything about scaling. We've covered not in depth, obviously, because we don't have that much time on the morning show, but we've given you a really good look at what scaling your business really looks like and what that means, and some tips of how to go about it, and some of the things that have worked for us. Does that mean we're always 100% right? No. Just remember, we are not perfect. We are still human. You aren't perfect either. So just getting that out there.
We're not perfect. We're human, and you have to figure out what the market wants. You can have the best product on a service on the planet, and if nobody wants it, then it's a dud.
Yeah. And you don't know unless you're gonna take the time to figure out what
so much of this is trial and error. And I think personally in the women's small business space, nobody wants to take the time to trial and error and find what works. They just want the instant business in a box, pop up, let me just set it up and boom, now I'm making 6 figures. It does not work that way. It takes a lot of trial and error to get there.
Absolutely. So take a listen. Let us know what you think. Always join us over on the forum. We actually have some exciting things that are going to be happening with the forum. There will be a new link for grasping it and working with it starting tomorrow. So we will be in a new place, but still the same forum, still the same information. We are moving where it is hosted at. So we are excited to do that. I hope you all have an amazing day today. Remember to rise, become, and be everything you can in your day, and just enjoy. Enjoy your day. I hope you truly find something that's amazing in your day. Have a great day, everybody. RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.